Last time things didn't go out so well in Yaga-Shura's stronghold or lair. I was devastated. But now I did some clearing out of enemies, which are quite numerous in this place. Beforehand I went to fight against things, so time to steal some stuff and get enemies attacked. Get attacked by a little bit of enemies fire trolls, which differ from regular trolls in fact that they must be damaged to hurt with.
I await your move. I go.
With ice attacks instead of fire attacks. Where are you going, Saga?
What is
Save you, Edwin. Don't wander off trying to be smart. Fight being careful.
Saravok stands ready.
And get ready to do some chopping them up process.
Feel his holy wrath.
Mince and wool stand ready. Feel him back and up. Every battle move. Run, Baldur, run!
Walk away, Yaga-Shura,
I am.
and hope that the enemies are stupid enough to not
You point.
stay fighting you all the time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they are stupid enough for that part.
What do you wish?
Swords, not words.
I am.
Stand ready. Where Minsk goes,
Yeah, they went
evil
down.
stands aside.
And I can assume that there's another batch of similar ambush right at the other end. So of course that takes some more preparation. Yeah, watching these fights is not particularly, you could say, exciting, but they are kind of necessary evil. And approaching this side. And a couple of golems. Actually, clay golems are quite unpleasant.
Yes.
Adamantite, they are even worse.
You point. I punch. Go for the eyes, move.
I am.
Go for the eyes.
With vengeance.
Die.
And that's a magic golem, which has a very, you could say, unpleasant extra trait of being completely invulnerable to every weapon, which is magical. And at this phase of the game, that's a quite nasty surprise for anything to have as an ability for against you, because you practically have ditched your non-magical weapons ages ago.
I require rest. Demand is not.
Saravok stand. Consider it
And
accomplished.
of course that demands completely different like of tricks.
This must be tended to.
With vengeance.
Missed. Missed.
Oh, but I wondered. Oh yes, Yaga-Shura had non-magical weapons, although they are poisonous ones. So let's see, do they have hoped effect on it?
I need rest if I am.
Yeah, it has.
My weapon does nothing.
Every
And Saravok also had magical, non-magical, although poisonous arrows in his weapon. Over the bolts.
You point, I point. The bigger
So
they
that's
are, the harder I
This one
hit.
is invulnerable.
makes things bit easier. Man, that was actually quite nice. They took them all down without having to reload and anything like that. And there's a couple of extra rooms here with these, because I need to get specific those. Well, these. I have to get these ward stones so I can actually open these rooms, which allow me then to use this thing, which then allows me to
Swords, not words.
get further and get further in Yaga-Shura's lair, which is not so huge, but it is quite complicated in sense that it's got puzzle and ambushes, plenty of traps and all that kind of navigation needed to get through it. And that makes it a bit it's more challenging. They had much more time and time to design these dungeon places to be more interesting. So I'm going to go and check this side first. Of course I'm gonna save to keep my little increments of progress. Mostly because I'm quite rushing this through. I'm not so much taking breaks and stopping to make any. Oh yep. There's lots of danger, so time to go a big fight. Reload, that is.
Sustain me.
Yes.
But luckily that is not a place of, you could say, ambush, because well, the enemies are there quite open. So just
Here's the seeds that our sire sowed long ago are about to come to fruition.
Saravok is about to
For good or
chat.
ill, the issue will be finally resolved very soon.
Saravok is starting to have a chat. So this isn't exactly how you thought it would happen, right? Oh yeah, Saravok, despite him being, you could say, evil, a ruthless conqueror person and schemer, has a strange amount of, you could say, ability to observe himself as well. He is not deluded in a sense. He is evil, yes, but it's his choice and it's his method. But it's a matter of practice and study, not inherent ability. Oh. Alright. So he's of course curious about what would be his fate. So, well, he's free to go as he wants. Oh yeah? Yeah, actually, yes, I would. And I would, yeah, of course I would let him leave. And I would wish him well, and I would really also hope that he would not turn on me. And do you think I have another choice? Well, yes, he actually has now a complete. Once that is done, he does have a choice. He has all the skills from maybe baggage from being evil, but ruthless conqueror Saravok. But he does have another choice, and a choice than being evil, always. Yes, it most likely is quite.
I await your news. One day.
It most likely was quite surprising for him to get that and hear that answer. Yeah,
I require rest. Demand we stop.
but when you look at that magical sword, modern kind of sword, is quite efficiently doing tanking all the damage those enemies are delivering, which of course means that they are very efficient method of keeping enemies busy. So it's just summoning this little nymph just out of just because it had a little bit of some magic against it. We're trying to now get some
You point, I punch.
Yes.
Yes.
Cry for your life.
yeah, they just keep attacking the skull with it is just completely ignoring all the damage they got, so
I am ready.
What is it?
I am
Sword, not word.
go and hack.
Rinse and use.
Okay, let's go hack that thing apart.
Go for the eyes.
Stands ready. This one is an order. This one is an order.
That weapon does nothing.
Alright, go and hack them. Damn it.
What?
Oh, I am good.
Every
Come on, miss, don't stand in the fire. I know you can take it, but still, it's still not a, you could say, the most healthiest place to stand in.
Something.
Oh, damn it. Oh yeah, well, time to start to get a bit more brutally handle this again. A rude combination of just using the sword and
missed.
some capable constant attacking
Run, go, run.
is quite efficient of taking things down.
You
You
point,
are lucky.
I punch.
As you
And throwing the same tactic to the other side
What?
as well. Seeing what lurks there. Can the same does the same method work here as well? Apparently it does.
I am ready.
Just
Yes.
Nature's servant awaits.
well, I don't carry much of really big spells and in my
I await your yes.
What is it?
Sword, not word.
Sarabok stands ready.
damn it. Well, try to use the same. But, well, both sides have similar ambushes, so I guess I can just skip them. Now, when you look at the map, there's these 4 pools which center and aim towards this little center device, and within all pools is that little chest which contains ward stones. So with them with all those 4 wardstone, I can now progress further in Yaga-Shura's home or lair, however you want to call it. It of course has more giants
Every hamster
who are just as unpleasant
What do you wish?
as they have always been.
make way, villain.
Oh, just
The fist of death. That's not right.
oh, going to chop them up as well. And in this place, the quite common rule of there being plenty of danger and unpleasantness is quite thorough, so it demands some reconnaissance doing off screen because, well,
Enough.
there's
I no longer
giants,
have immortal
there's
energies
fights,
to sustain me.
but nothing really you could say unique in that sense. So it's I find it's actually it's quite boring thing to watch. So I'm gonna skip all that because it doesn't drive the plot further. It's not a big fight or a dramatic fight or anything like that. They're just enemies placed in your path that you must annihilate or avoid if you are into stealthiness. But in this game, stealth is not so good method of going completely through. It's a good aid, but it's not a good method. I have done some all the necessary clearing of this place, and then judging by the amount of bloody pulp and giant corpses, it had been quite an impressive battle fit for the ages. And there's something interesting burning in this pit.
Yes.
And I have Yaga-Shura's heart from the braziers, and it's not extinguished from burning it. But
I await your lead.
Nayali said that there needs to be
I am willing.
more than that. There has to be.
Saravok stands ready.
She needs also her own heart to be able to actually be able to extinguish it. And there's quite strong elemental beast in here, so and it demands a reloading again. And a couple of the elemental beasts have been destroyed.
Go bother.
Except, well, Yaga-Shura has trapped his
That is what you want.
personal quarters as well quite thoroughly. Is he paranoid of something? Most like, I really don't see why would he be so paranoid about
Yes.
I
I'm
await
busy,
your
okay? I'm
lead.
busy.
anything because, well,
What?
he's an invulnerable giant. What should he be scared of or paranoid of?
Yes.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
ready.
Although
I can do that.
that, whatever.
You point.
What do
I
you
point.
wish?
Oh yeah, Minsk is carrying the hearts.
What?
Saravok
Swords,
stands
not
ready.
all.
So there's the another
Go
heart.
suck eggs.
And a magical bag and some journals as well. So let's just see what kind of writings does he have. Yes, he knows how to write. Finally want 8 hearts. Old hag's heart. The bow for the straggler. Yeah. So somebody is giving orders to 5. Although how it actually might occur is completely different. And now I also have the infinite sling bullets pouch, which is very handy. Not the best, but handy. So, and there's a slave woman in Yaga-Shura's bed chamber. So, who is she? So, okay, okay, I'll release her. So, who is she? Yeah, well, she's got attitude. Oh, I thought. Oh, a northern barbarian who came to fight, pillage, and destroy under Yaga-Shura. Yep. Well, and wound up as his pleasures live. How ironic. Oh, yep. Well, that's true. So, does she know anything about how to... Oh, yeah. Well, you are no more use. Go if you wish. Well, if she would be stupid enough to go and pick a fight against a god, or I'd half god, son of a
I
god,
require rest.
That
The
sounds
demand we
sad.
start.
who is doing quite good job at claiming that divine heritage to himself.
Hero coming through.
She is quite foolish in that sense. And that must be Yaga-Shura's bed. And I wonder how in hell could a regular-sized human be some sort of sex slave to giant? Yaga-Shura is a huge... They're huge. Should probably tear in half.
Enough.
Even without the fact that... Yeah, she probably wouldn't like it because he's so huge. But even with that, those kind of things, he would probably just be ripped apart. So it's... But now I have 2 hearts. So it is time to go and let Naili have her way with them. I am now bringing the both hearts to Naili.
Most anxious Niley is, oh yes. Have you found her precious heart, spawn child?
Well, he has 2 hearts. I don't know, are they actually correct? But giving Naili back her heart means she also gets memories and emotions back.
How it feels to have a heart shared. Many old memories. It makes Niley sad.
I am ready.
And
Leave it to me.
why that happened is simple.
That's right.
Let's go on. Prepare to backstep. Nymph and start. Quite summary destruction of things by adding a big chunk of traps around here. So it's a battle again. Although in this case I must say that for is completely understandable and real motivation. Why? Shit! What's near being killed?
That's not right. No effect. That's not right. No effect. Yes.
Well, Yaga-Shura's heart has been extinguished. And so is life. of his mother as well, which was something that not desired to happen, but it's happening was completely from understandable and realistic motivations. So it's not as it didn't come from something that let's pull out of ass motive for her, different for her sudden change of heart, literally. But it is time to go. Yaga-Shura should now be vulnerable, so it is time to go and hunt him down. First, hunt him down. Actually, it's gonna happen. Oh, sorry, now check it. It's gonna happen at the same episode, and it's gonna be a grand battle. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it to a cliffhanger. Next time, Yaga-Shura shall be challenged to battle. See ya then. See ya.